What else can I say where stupid dickheads have it wrong? Music genre. The only music that's different to what I grew up with, and I grew up with the 80s. So I'm born in the 70s. I grew up with the 80s, the 90s, and current music. So my taste in music, my taste in music has been from, well, I'm growing up in the 80s, I'm enjoying the 80s music. Then there's a change in music in the 90s, I'm enjoying that. My genre of music, I enjoy now. You know, there's, you know, you know, the same like it right through my life. It's like, oh, I love this artist, I love this one. It's like, oh, you know, it changes. Of course, it changes because there's new artists, there's new music, so it changes. So I love these music in the 80s, love this music in the 90s, love this music in the 2000s, love this music now because the artists change. There's new artists, there's new music. So from what I grew up with, I love all those genres. What I grew up with. What's different, however, is the classical music, the theatre music, and the jazz. I'm not from those eras. I'm not born in those eras, but I still love them and enjoy them just like other people enjoy the ballet. I've always grown up with the theatre. When I've told these dumb losers that you have me confused with someone else because I've never been someone that likes wildlife, nature, or outdoors ever. My sports that I grew up playing was soccer and equestrian horse riding at nationals and royals. I gave up soccer when mum moved. The last competition that I did professionally, soccer, was in 1988 because I couldn't do the season in 1989 because mum moved in April 1989. But I played soccer my entire life. The only reason why it stopped was because mum moved to an area where there was no soccer. It was rugby league, and I hate rugby league. So there is no personality disorder when you know the slightest bit of information about me. I've always followed rule football, soccer, and never rugby league. I would never follow rugby league ever. Can't stand it. Literally cannot stand rugby league at all. Apps, I think it's the most vile, disgusting, povo plev sport. Never have I followed it. From a little kid, I have followed, and the other thing I've followed is baseball. Yeah. You can see me wearing a baseball Yankees cap when I was growing up. My dad, Mark Ian Fleming, who's a builder, played baseball. I keep saying this to you guys, you're dumb. You see, you think Mark Rackley is my father, but Mark Rackley isn't my father. So the nurse who worked at Moonby House Freemason Nursing Home, that's Mark Rackley. That's not my father. And his son that used to affiliate with him, okay, that's Daniel Rackley. That's not me. You mental health workers have now been told this continuously for the past 11 years. That's Daniel Rackley. That's not me, Justin Fleming. You've been told. And in 2017, St. Vincent's was told repetitively, why do you think that my dad's a nurse? Because you kept thinking, oh, it's personality. He says his dad's a builder. Because my dad is a builder. Mark Ian Fleming's my father, and he's a builder. Anything else? Because that's what caused all the mental health issues, was that you thought I was Rackley, and you thought my father was Mark Rackley, but I'm not. So you thought I was Daniel Rackley with information to do with Daniel Rackley attached to me. So my mum's done another scam, has she? Well, that's up to you to sue her. I'm going to sue you. Okay? That's up to you to sue Carol. She's done another scam. She did that in the 90s. No one stopped. So you're going to do it this time? Amanda Lee Fleming and myself is just a Mark Fleming. Our father's Mark Ian Fleming. His parents are Ruby Jean Hill and Stanley Fleming. Okay, our father is not Mark Rackley. Mark Rackley's parents is, what is Val's real name? Is it Jessica Rackley? I think it was Jessica Valerie Rackley, and his father's Don Rackley. These aren't relatives of ours. That's my mum's second husband's family. Nothing to do with me, but this is what you mental health workers gathered where, yeah, you're going to be sued. So is Housing Commission. I can't wait for these documents to come back. You got information that doesn't relate to me and you attached it to me. New South Wales Police, Redfern Police did the same thing since 2008. Doesn't relate to me, and I kept standing up saying, that's not me, it doesn't relate to me at all, that's the Rackleys. Well, no, I'm not a Rackley. And if you've got to repeat yourself continuously for 36 years, there's something seriously wrong that some idiot can't just go, hang on a minute, wait, Justin and Amanda aren't Rackleys, they're Flemings. Exactly. We're Flemings, not Rackleys. Two husbands. Okay, I mean, this is the most simplest thing, but, well, I guess these people are dumb as dog shit. Must be that deadbeat Abbo Emma Fields. You don't know us, love. Seriously, I had to call my mother and say, who the fuck is she? Okay, you may have witnessed some stuff from the kids. I'm like, who is she? Like, we never socialised with her. So mum's like, no, her mother worked at that nursing home Mark Rackley did. I'm like, oh. Figures, she must know the Rackleys like Daniel Rackley. Well, we never socialised with you. And all those fucking deadbeats to do with the area to my twin sister's ex-husband. Yeah. What, did I piss off people that like Amy Thompson? I'll be her. I'll be fucking her. Christ of mine, if Amanda had moved back home to Sydney like I did, she wouldn't have even known the guy. No, she changed high schools when I moved back home to Sydney. If she had moved back home to Sydney with me, like a normal person, in 95, she wouldn't have even fucking met the dickhead. I never wanted her to marry him. In actual fact, I can tell you what, because I wanted her to marry, there was Azif, this Persian guy who I was very close to in Parramatta. And then the other guy's like, okay, well, Azif's out of the picture. Man is still not showing these guys any interest. And he's off marrying Sabrina. So then there was that beautiful friend of mine from King's Cross, who's Cyprian. You could not have picked the most nicest man. Amanda, you missed out. You could have had Jimmy Demetriou. He was Cyprian Greek. He was the most beautiful man you had ever met in your entire life, and much more like-minded to my twin sister than that fucking Amy Thompson. Jimmy Demetriou. Why do you think my boss, Jackie Phillips, and myself, we wanted to do a field trip anyway, but you came to St. Leonard's with Amy Thompson for New Year's? Oh, ask what he saw, because we were like, oh, it's a plan. Getting my friend to come to Tamworth. We're doing a field trip. So Jimmy Demetriou come. I was very good friends with Jimmy. I was very good friends with Jimmy's parents too, Mrs. and Mr. Demetriou. Mr. Demetriou was deaf. He was a lovely man, very beautiful, very accommodating. They live out near the airport. So is Mrs. Demetriou, and so is Jimmy's sister. Now, I look at a whole relationship as a whole, as a family. Now, they may have nothing as they're immigrants. They're the most beautiful immigrants from Cyprus that you're ever going to find. Greek Cypriot. They're absolutely stunning people. They had nothing, very humble people, and I knew him I knew his parents at the casino, and I knew his sister well enough. I looked at this and thought, okay, he's a beautiful man, Jimmy Demetriou, that would dote on my twin sister. Amanda will have beautiful in-laws that would just, lavish her as a new daughter. If she was with Jimmy. Like, you look at the whole picture, because we know that the Thompsons, Mrs. and Mr. Thompson, are standoffish little cunts. Okay. Look at how they've always behaved. No offense, I mean, I adore them, but I don't have to be married to the family. Okay? So, Mrs. and Mr. Demetriou were beautiful, and I looked at this and thought, they would love Amanda. God, they would love Amanda. And then Jimmy's sister, Amanda would have a sister-in-law. So, I would hang out with Jimmy, because Jimmy was a good friend of mine. He ended up moving to Cyprus. He used to work at the Backpackers in King's Cross. I would hang out with Jimmy. Amanda's got a sister-in-law that she could be around. This is you ask people that knew me back in 2005. Okay? You ask people back then. You ask, even back, okay, with Jackie Phillips, my boss, because we did a field trip. We're like, we've got to get Amanda away from Amory. And Jimmy loved Amanda. Amanda wasn't giving... And Jimmy was gorgeous, good-looking guy, had a good job. And Amanda wasn't giving him a bar of soap. It's like, God almighty, Amanda. Like, can't you just get out of mum for a minute? Get away from mum for a minute? They may not have had horses and so forth, and they may have had very little, but they were the most loving family you would ever find. Instead, you went around those dumb cunts where you live. Oh, I can't stand them. Like that little Deb Mears bitch. Oh, I fucking can't stand Deb Mears. Oh, I really fucking can't stand that cunt, Deb Mears. Or Michael Long, for that matter. That was a great prank I played. Oh, that was a prank, sorry. That was me. I didn't have to do much acting. Anchor. Didn't have to do too much acting. She's a fucking loser, Deb Mears. Absolute deadbeat piece of shit. But then you saw that a mile away when you look at all the fucking losers that live around you. Poor Dad's sister, Aunt Linda and Uncle Tony, well, haven't they got that little fat lesbian cunt piece of shit, Nicolette Jones, on their doorstep? Isn't she in Picton? She knows the Rackleys, doesn't she? Well, all those scumbags. You know what? When you're going to tell someone from one weekend to the next, why do you keep calling us Rackley? We had this discussion last weekend. We had a Bland's Trophy Day, and we're doing it again. It's like, I just went to the marshalling yard and told you that the name's Fleming. And they're like, oh, he wants to be called Fleming. Yeah, because it's my surname. It's Amanda's surname too. You guys have been told since April 1989. They're just losers of people. And mum still lives there. They're fucking deadbeats. You moved the horse stud to an area around the biggest pathetic, dumb, useless skips that have ever graced the fucking earth. They are pathetic little scumbags. Not all of them, but predominantly 90% of those deadbeat losers. Pathetic. Oh, best move Carol ever did. Good. Like, I'll just remind you what your parents said, Reg and Lola. If you love it so much, Carol, why do you keep forcing everybody to copy you? Why do we all have to copy you? Your father refused to visit you. Your father's from Balmain, Roselle. Pop regretted even moving to the suburbs. My grandfather, Reginald George Purdy, who's involved in the racing industry, he regretted ever moving from Balmain to the suburbs. And he refused to visit his daughters once they moved from Sydney. That's the truth. So why don't you get your little sort of facts together, losers? Okay? Because everything so far is just wrong. But everything that I put in the statute declaration is correct. From who I'm related to, from where they live, everything. From who we grew up, God, Margie Clay can confirm. I remember Margie Clay when we still had the horse stud in Rudy Hill, and Margie Clay was with her first husband, Trevor, in Mitchenbury. They had that doll's house in Mitchenbury. And then they moved from there to Kellyville, and then they divorced not long after, or separated not long after, 2001. And then Margie got with Ross and moved into Greenwich, and I was down the road from Margie, and that was in 2004. So, yeah, lived in North Sydney then. Well, I've lived in North Sydney really since, year 2000, or since February 2001, moved in North Sydney. You losers have it wrong. So back to the music. Yep, okay. Nan's favourite musician was, she had the statue of him, Louis Armstrong. Nan's favourite jazz singer was Louis Armstrong. She loved that song, Summertime, that had Louis Armstrong. So Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. Nan Lola loved it. Her favourite song was Summertime, and it had Louis Armstrong in it. I took Nan to see the Rat Pack because she loves the jazz music. Mum brought Nan Lola. So I grew up listening to jazz. Brought Nan Lola a Louis Armstrong statue that actually moved in sun. Mum brought me a Dean Martin statue that I left in America. Okay, so that just shows you. So jazz has been right through. So jazz isn't the era I'm born in, but it's a genre of music I've always listened to. Theatre, I've always been involved in the theatre. So since a little kid, from theatre, classical music, theatre musicals, stage productions, dancing, and so forth. Okay, that's been right. You can see that right throughout my life. Theatre productions. So theatre music, yes. Classical music, yes. Okay, classical music. I had some stunning classical vinyls, and they were given to me from my great uncle Fred, whose real name's Leo Patrick Sayer. Now, all this can be confirmed by family members. If you're not a family member, then how the fuck do you know, dumb cunt? So I've always listened to it, including in 1995 when I went with school friends to the Opera House to listen to the Symphony Orchestra. Now, my after-school activities on a Wednesdays was hanging around the shopping mall, not in a bad way, but all us private school kids that were involved in dance. So we were involved in dance, musicals, acting, theatre, the orchestra. We all hung out at the auditorium in the Tamworth Arcade where the Coffee Bean was, just past the Mud Box. So the Mud Box was on the right, which is Jane Hilton's mother. And you walk past the Mud Box and you keep going. You had, on the corner there was a place called the Coffee Bean. So all private school kids used to hang out there on a Wednesday. It was a little coffee date before we went off to dance practice, band practice, and so forth. I had musicals, I had dance, and I had theatre. Other days I had modelling, which I did modelling as an after-school activity. Other days I painted the Tamworth Library, the mural for it. Other days I did downtown interiors. I have all the documents of this. Downtown interiors, Shawlaw's Menswear, which was visual merchandising and styling. That's who I am. There's no personality disorder. You have me confused with a completely different character of a person. I've said this now for the past 11 years. The character of a person I was is exactly what's in the detailed statutory declaration. I didn't grow up with this wild, collecting wild, that changed childs. I didn't grow up camping. I mean, we had to travel away for competitions. People know when you're traveling for competitions what it's like when you're to rough it. That's not something you enjoy fucking camping. You kidding me? God. There were times when the Martins were actually staying in hotel rooms. Like, oh my God, can we just get a hotel room, please? Like, no, don't go camping, thanks. I don't leave the city. Okay? Beach, city. Favourite house was Nan's house in 43 Piper Street, Leichhardt, which I'm actually going to catch up with Mum's cousin tomorrow night, which will be really nice. I'm looking forward to it. The retired police officer who he still lives in Leichhardt. So I just enjoy it. It's actually it's an enjoyable outlet just to catch up with one of those connections of family members. So there is none of this ridiculous bullshit that these people have made up. But these people don't know a thing about me or my upbringing. No one does, because I didn't sit there and talk about it. Then next minute I'm hearing some wrong information since 2015. It's like, that doesn't relate to me. Sure, I rode equestrian horses. I grew up riding thoroughbred hacks. And I said this, that's true. My hack that I used to ride around on was worth more than my BMW. Back when that fucking little Indian cunt Jolly was a supervisor at Star Casino, sure. Okay, if Sarah Mignoni wants to bring up that time, did I walk out of work and said, in 2005, I've just sold a hack for this amount of money, which I did. I sold a thoroughbred hack and said, I don't have to put up with your bullshit. Yep, I did. Because I sold him for a lot of money. It was, Mum sold him. I had to sell him, but the money was a lot of money for the thoroughbred hack. I walked out of work. I said, fuck, I'm not putting up with this mouthy little Indian cunt. You know, I thought with her little arranged marriage, I thought you people you types of women learn to keep your mouth shut. You might get a backhand from your husband. So, no, I walked because she was a fucking bitch, an immigrant little cunt that let the casino down. But I didn't leave. I walked out, went downstairs, contained myself, got a coffee and come back. And Sarah's like, Johnny said you'd left. Oh no, was it Jason Hall first? Said you'd left because you sold a horse or something? I was like, Jolly, okay, which you might want to control and pull her in, mouthed off at me. Okay, because she's a little short, stocky Indian cunt. Okay, that we just let rule. Alright. So she really mouthed off me and I wasn't going to tell her. I was like, don't need this. Literally, and it was, by the way, when she mouthed off at me, I had it even clocked on. So I didn't leave work in work time. I'm going to say this because half an hour before you start your shift, okay, they expect you to be there for a briefing, half an hour. So I was still half an hour within my time. So I walked out of that briefing when she mouthed off, went downstairs, grabbed a coffee. And when I was even talking to my boss, I was still in my time. My shift had not clocked on yet. When that situation did happen in 2005, but that situation happened not on work's time, on my time. But my employer felt very entitled that we would donate so much of our time to them for free for briefings and debriefings, because back in those days, the government let Star Casino get away with murder. Now, ask anyone. They expected us to be there started work half an hour before we're getting paid. And I refused to start work half an hour before. I'll there listening to the briefing and so forth, but refused to be like, no, I'm not logging on until my time starts. Thank you, because oh my God, can you hear? This is what I have to put up with. So that's a deadbeat junkie. Is that coming from the speaker? That's what you call a deadbeat ICE junkie or whatever losers that live in Housing Commission. They're probably born and raised in Housing Commission. Their parents are probably born and raised and dragged up in Housing Commission. Hell, their grandparents are probably born and raised in Housing Commission. And they're types of people that you really want to teach, not contraceptive. I don't think they'll understand that. I think forced abortions. You know, sterilisation with those types of scumbags. Well, their families are never going to have anything decent. They're not going to have good schooling. I mean, they're not going to have parents like mine. I never saw my parents growing up. And not because they were doing anything wrong. They were working full time and more than one job. My dad was working all the time. My mum was working all the time. Mum was a full-time paralegal. Dad was a full-time builder. There we go. I never saw them. It wasn't bad. It's because they worked all the time. So I got a good education. You know, and then mum said she wasn't paying for it. Once we turned 16, we got to pay for education after that. Okay? Or ask your father. Yeah, so mum talks about, we'll be saying stuff. It's like, mum, you pay for the education. You think I didn't pay attention? We went to some of the best schools, like private schools. So, yeah, paid attention, but I just wasn't going to be Amanda. I was never going to be this, oh my God, I got an A. No offense, Moo. I don't mean that to be derogatory. That's just not in me. It's not in me to brown nose people. I'm real. Too real, I can't get my mouth shut. What you see is what you get. So I wasn't going to brown nose to get an A. I want to learn the information, hold the information, recall the information. That's what I've always been like. A sponge, wanted to absorb information and learn and study, but never cared. Which is why I'll be walking out of. It was like, oh, you had to hand this in. It's like, oh, I've already learned it. Thanks. I'll go apply it. That's me. Right. So what else? Because everything I've heard just doesn't relate to me. Apparently, I was involved in drugs. I wasn't. The Rackeries are. But I do love the acting stunt. See, idiots thought I knew that deadbeat Abbo Brett Aikenhead. No, brought my dog from him. A fuck buddy's a fuck buddy. If I'm having sex with someone on the side, I'm having sex with someone on the side, and I'm not going to have casual sex with something that I'm going to have any emotional connection with. Well, then that's going to defeat the purpose of using someone as a free prostitute. Free prostitute's a free prostitute, even if some deadbeat sort of druggo is going to come around and just massage me while I pour my heart out, which is what even all my straight friends do when they get rubs and tugs. That's a male thing. It's, yeah. All my straight men I have, straight friends that have wives, have something on the side. Or have prostitutes. And sometimes with the prostitutes think, oh, Jesus Christ, man, that's questionable. But I don't judge. Because it's not meant to be out there in public for everyone to see. But apparently in my life it was okay to put it out there on show. It's not. My relationships are my relationships. Who I have a relationship with is who I have a relationship with. Who I have sex with is who I have sex with. They are two very completely different people. Sex is sex. I don't know why women seem to put so much emphasis on something that's just sex. It's only sex. It seems to be such a female thing that they emphasize. Oh, but you've had sex with them. And I don't see your point. It's such a female thing. So don't know him, don't know his friends, like that Peter Fry, don't know, like all these scumbags, but you want to affiliate with them. That's because deadbeats will break it. That's because scumming all shit from housing. Let me tell you this. This is a civil matter about loss and damages, and we're not just talking about 200,000 I still had in savings. We're talking about a lot more than that. So pay me my money back. If my family ever want to be in my life, this ain't blackmail, then you can work out a way to get me a legal team so I can sue for the damages. Because if you think that this injustice towards me is fair in the last 11 years since 2015, then I don't think that you're a decent person to have in my life. I think you're toxic. Anyone that would think that this is fair would not be in my life. Anyone, whether it's family or anyone. So the only people I'll accept in my life are those that are going to work hard for me to have my money back. And I'll be well away from these organisations. I want nothing to do with them. I was never going to. See, if I wasn't moving to America, I was buying a house here up the North Coast. I wasn't staying here. It depends. Two things. If I was negotiating my job back at Star Casino in 2017, which is why I held off buying the house as well, then I'll be staying around the city, but I'll be on like over 79,000 a year. Okay. If I wasn't, then actually I was still going to buy that house anyway, because even I said the Geo, that would make a good holiday house. But then thinking about it, I was like, no, I'll keep that money in the bank for America. So I kept all this money in the bank for America and kicking myself thinking, that's bullshit what I went through. That's a lot of money, this ridiculous mental health crap that you guys projected into me and cost me. I'm going to walk away from it. I should have just brought the house up on the North Coast like I was going to and thought, got the green card, I'll cut it up. Don't really need it. Anyway, so you can pay me more money because I don't want anything to do with this organisation. I know. Like, seriously. Need a legal team, reimburse the money that's cost me for the last 11 years, and that's it. The government caused the trouble, you can pay for it. Why should I? You're the ones that caused that and broke laws in my life. Why should I pay? Why should my money that I worked hard for and already paid taxes upon taxes upon taxes? Because technically, I paid taxes on the money that I brought my investment property with, paid taxes again, then sold the investment property and paid taxes again. It's like, seriously, how many times do you want to tax me on my money? That the money that I'm earning from Star Casino that's going into an investment property that I used to own, I got taxed from that earnings. Then it's getting taxed again in that property. I'm getting taxed on that property. It's like tax, tax, tax. God almighty, would you blame me for not wanting the other income that I had to be taxed? Seriously, how is anyone meant to get ahead with that amount of fucking taxes? Like, so when I'm working for Jeff lifting tough and glass around and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to claim this, or I'm not going to claim the work I'm doing for Steve Ash Dimitri, well, could you blame me? And everyone does it. I want nothing to do with a government organisation. It's simple. Government owes me the money, you pay it back. This started with a dirty Abbo. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want this to go over half an hour. This started with a dirty, entitled fucking Abbo cunt. That's not racist. He is a dirty, entitled Abbo cunt. I'm just stating a fact. He's a dirty little stinky piece of junky shit by the name of Brett Aikenhead. He's a fucking Abbo and he's a cunt. So I didn't say the whole race is. I said he is a dirty fucking Abbo cunt. It's not being racist. It's stating a fact about a person. You don't like it? Oh my God. Oh, boo-hoo, hurt your feelings. Jesus Christ, I hope you don't end up like the fucking UK, this shit of a country. No fucking balls to stand up to these wimps. And Justin said something that hurt my feelings. Oh, diddums, then block me. Oh, boo-hoo. Go dye your hair pink and blue. Oh shit, since there's a guy like this got... Anyway, go dye your... No, fuck it. No, why should I say it? Go dye your hair blue and purple. Okay? Diddums. You got feelings. Okay? I'm over this shit. There is lies about me from 2015 that went to an organisation. The organisation caused negligence and cost me money. They continued it even though I told them to fuck off in 2016. It went further in 2017, cost me more damages. And it fucking goddamn continued. It continued into the US, affecting my life in the US, causing more damages. And I'm talking about health damages. Okay? When you want to break monitoring, surveillance and privacy laws, which is exactly what these organisations are doing. Okay? Which is just going back and forth. Okay? And sure. Oh God, I hate this fucking area. The fact that I have got to be here really makes me want to never speak. The fact that I'm living here, this area, really does drive that wedge home that I won't fucking speak to my twin sister again. Because she's the one that's caused some of the most damage in the last 11 years. When you're told to not do something like don't drag that person into my life, thanks, like Stephen DeSalis, and she does, it's like, thanks, Amanda. You were told not to do that, so then I'm the one that has to go and clean up your mess. And then she gets the shit. It's like, God, you're like Mum. I say don't do something, you go and do it, then you're angry with me because I'm there going, oh, now I'm pissed off with you because you've done what I've said not to do and it's my life. And you're like, well, just trying to help. How is it helping? I said don't do it. So how is when you do the opposite to what was asked of you fucking helping? God, you're Carol and Marianne, Amanda. My twin sister's exactly Carol and Marianne. How the fuck is that helping? Your brother said don't do it, you did it. How the fuck is it helping? Seriously, your brothers end up in this situation because you're told not to do something, you do it. The fuck, man? Same with Mum. Don't contact that organisation back. I want to get a solicitor to take him to court. What she do is like, oh, fuck this. I'm not going to stand for the money that you guys have cost me in the last 11 years, thanks. And we're not talking about the $200,000 in savings. That's just the measly leftover money that I had from the savings from Star Casino fixed term deposits and the sale of my investment property, 16 Scott Road. $200,000. $200,000 is nothing. Okay, we're talking about a lot more than $200,000. You'll fucking goddamn pay it. Because I want nothing to do with these organisations. And it all started with a fucking Aboriginal little cunt who doesn't know me. I met him in April 2015. Because he is a fucking Aboriginal little cunt. It's not racist. The guy's an Aboriginal fucking little cunt. Did I say that the whole lot of Aboriginals are fucking, little cunts? No. No, I didn't. He is a fucking Abbo little cunt, the Brett Aikenhead. Simple. You don't like it? Oh boo-hoo. Suck it up, fucking losers. I'm so sick of the oversensitive people. Oh, boo fucking who? My fucking god, when I grew up, the Maltese used to call other immigrants wogs. Not Julian Muscat's wife used to use the word wog all the time. My god, if she didn't say it for every word, she'd sit there having coffee at Nana Pop's, you'd hear Julian Muscat. And their daughter still lives in Penrith. Julia Muscat can confirm that her mother would sit there and be like, oh, Reg, those bloody wogs. Oh, those bloody wogs. That's all I've ever heard Julia Muscat's wife, Mrs. Muscat, ever say was those bloody wogs. Oh, we get ripped off by those bloody wogs, Reg. That's all she used to come into the butcher shop and say it. That's all they... And they're Maltese. I'm fucking sick of this ridiculous way Australia's behaving. It's like they're copying the piss weak leftist side of the goddamn fucking UK. You look like the frigging deadbeats that everyone's had a gutful of in the UK. That's what they look like. I believe the X is already half an hour.